You all set? Let's break. Noonas podcast Noonas podcast with Jenni and Jenni.
Heart to heart, Noonas podcast. Welcome back to a long-awaited Noonas podcast, as always, with your hosts, Jenni and Jenni.
Hello.
Yes, we are back after a kind of mini hiatus. I feel like we've had a lot of mini hiatuses. This was a really long hiatus for us.
Not as much as BTS.
No, not as long as BTS's, although, can we really call that a hiatus at this point?
Yeah, they're gonna be like doing some kind of group activity like in October of like some kind of event.
Yeah, some concert in Busan, supposedly, that's happening now. So TBD for all you armies out there. But yeah, we are back for another episode of the Noonas podcast. And we do have a special guest on the show today yet again. Our friend Ray is back on the show. Say hi, Ray.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. Ray has decided to join us as we are reviewing 11 albums today because
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Feel like 11. I'm so sorry, Ray. You came back on our catch-up episode, really. Basically, us catching up from the month of June and beginning of July in K-pop because
there is not enough alcohol in this cup right now.
Again, we should do a drunk review.
We should do a drunk episode one day. That would be entertaining, actually.
Yes.
This would be like a special event. We should do a drunk review.
I am game. I will make a special trip to the liquor store. I will go to the nice section and I will get some shit for that.
All right.
I like that. All right. So drunk episode later, potentially. Stay tuned. But yes, we have 11 albums to review today. Mini albums as well as I think full albums. I think at least one of them's full album. Some surprising news that kind of came out earlier this week that kind of caught everybody off guard, I think, in the K-pop industry. I think we'll just kind of get into it and just dive right on in a little bit. We'll kind of explain.
Wait, you mean we're not going to gladiator fight for the order in which things go first? Dang it, Jenni, you lied to me.
I'm sorry. Wow, I'm sorry.
I was told there was going to be a giant fight in the parking lot to decide the order of what was going to go first.
Oh, it would be interesting though. I think one of them is my idea on how we could try to get past through some albums.
Yeah, let me whip out my sword that I got at the Ren Fair for that.
I wish.
Yeah. Y'all should really check out my Facebook. Basically, our news that kind of broke. Jessie leaving P Nation all of a sudden, and
oh, I wish that were true, but I should be in Wisconsin for that to happen.
That kind of catching everyone off guard. And after 3 years, she is not renewing her contract with the agency, so she is leaving P Nation. Obviously, to note, she was the first artist to sign with P Nation when the label was created back in 2019. There was a lot of speculation in the industry and a lot of speculations, I think, by fans that I think she left because of what happened with the Show-Review scandal. Because for those of you, because she has a show on YouTube called Show-Review with Jessie that she basically kind of built from the ground up and has been her baby for the last 2 years. Hosted, I think, through SBS Modic, so an offshoot of SBS, which is one of the big broadcast providers in Korea. Right around, I think, when Psy's album came out, actually, Psy was her last guest. She was going to go take some time, and they asked her, oh, do you want to come back for a season 2, down the road? Because she wanted to take some time off. Well, then it was just announced a couple weeks ago that Sunmi was taking over Show-Review as the host.
Oh.
Everyone was a little bit caught off guard on that news because everyone's wasn't Show-Review's Jessie's baby kind of, because she really kind of felt that show up.
I think I remember hearing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was the one who that she created. So I'm not quite sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if this was a business decision that minus Jessie for them to do that, or was there Jessie actually approve of Sunmi? Okay, I choose Sunmi to be my successor or something like that. I don't know.
Right. So people are speculating because of if that was handled poorly, that's what led to her maybe leaving P Nation. And there's a lot of stuff to talk too, but She did put out a statement the day after it was announced, because it was announced on the 6th. She put out a statement the next day on the 7th saying, quote unquote, the truth will reveal itself in a matter of time. But she basically wants to take some time off for herself, which she really has been wanting to do for a while, because she's been doing so much on the entertainment side of things right now. She hasn't been doing much on the music side, but on the entertainment side, because she's been on a lot of television shows and just been, hustling on that side of thing and getting her face out there in the media. She has a variety show she's on. She was, on Street Woman Fighter, which was such a big success at the end of last year. Like, she's been so busy. I think she just needs some time off to recuperate. Yeah. And she said in her words, she is not retiring. Those are legitimately her words. She is not retiring.
Yeah, and she did stress the point, there's nothing bad that happened, so you guys just, just calm down with the rumors. So, I will explain, but, I left, and she left on good terms with Psy, so, there's no hard feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, so people should know, no beef that happened.
Yeah, she said, much love to P Nation. I don't think there's bad blood. I think Jessie's pretty open about things. We've kind of seen her be very open on her Instagram.
Oh, yeah, she's very.
I think the truth will come out eventually, exactly what happened. Let the girl rest. She's been super busy.
Yeah.
She needs a break. She's talked about that even at the end of her last episode of Show Tribute, which I guess now is her last episode of Show Tribute, considering I just saw rumors today of Sunmi's first couple episodes of her first couple guests of variation of Show Tribute, which I think are going to be like Howlin and ATEEZ, I think are going to be her first couple guests, supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
She had a couple of very iconic interviews. Jessie's interview with Tomorrow by Together, her one with ITZY, pretty iconic ones out there that she did.
That's going to be hard to pick up. Jessie's interview with ATEEZ, and it's so energetic and all that. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't think Minna knew how to comprehend what was happening, because it's just that culture shock. I wish her all the best.
Yeah.
And there's rumors too of where she's going to go to for her next agency, because there's always a huge rumor that she's going to go over to Atena for, I think, focus more on entertainment stuff, but there's no confirmation if she's going to go to Atena. There's a lot of people saying she shouldn't go to Atena. Who knows what's going to happen at this rate?
It was Shiny's Mino and Key too. Because she shook Minho to the core, oh my god, what is happening?
Well, honestly, see. But I guess also in other news too, because I guess this kind of stems from me going to see Stray Kids last week. Also part of the reason why we haven't been able to record, because I've been busy seeing concerts. So because I went to go see Stray Kids in Chicago last week, which nice. I am going to post pictures up on our video form of our show for Noonas. So check out our Facebook and our YouTube portion of our show to see pictures from my night seeing Stray Kids in Chicago. Unfortunately, Stray Kids...
You do a vlog for that. You do a vlog, just record yourself and hey, I'm in the hotel and all that. Oh, I'm ready to see Stray Kids.
I'm so bad at
get to meet new people and then maybe interview them or something, or just interview fans too.
As much as I am, sometimes it's weird when you're I when people do that, you see the artists do vlogs and stuff, and it's embarrassing, having the camera on you and stuff. I feel like that occasionally.
Some idea. Get a selfie stick and just wait around.
Smash a selfie stick in somebody's head. That would be me. But yeah, no, I went to go see Stray Kids in Chicago. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, the day after I went to go see Stray Kids in Chicago, it came out 3 of the members had COVID and their US tour got postponed. Much to Ray's delight, because she was going to try to see them in Atlanta, and now she gets...
Ellie doesn't deserve his 4 days.
I had resigned myself to the fact that I wasn't going to see them, because for anybody that's listened and had to go through that ticketing process, they know how much it sucked, especially for the East Coast and Midwest tour dates.
Yeah. It was hell. It was literal hell trying to get tickets for this show.
Meanwhile, LA is living their best life with 4 tour dates.
California, they're gonna hound on you. What'd you say, bro?
Seattle too. I think Seattle got 2 dates.
Seattle got 2 dates. I'm more okay with that, because
Seattle never gets anything.
Yes, Seattle's a good music city. They don't get too many stops that come in for K-pop shows. I'm okay with them getting a second stop, but LA did not need 4 days, and this has nothing to do with they're in Inglewood for 2 days and Anaheim for 2. You're still in freaking LA. It does not matter. You're in LA for 4 days. Just shut up. Wow. I'll say it. LA did not deserve the 4 days. There, I said it.
Or just really dodging, you're still not hanging out with his members. No, I don't want to hang out with y'all.
We can't tell we're a little salty about that.
Come at me, bro. I lived in California for 7 years, and I can say LA did not deserve those 4 days.
come at us, apparently. All the California states are gonna come at us. Hi.
So Sungmin is literally the last man standing in the group to not have caught it.
I know you lived in California for a while. The thing is with the tour dates, because basically, 3 members of the Stray Kids got COVID. It was Lino, Felix, and Nayeon. So hilariously, the 2 members who didn't get COVID before, and then Lino got it again, which
apparently is confirmed.
I think so at this point. He's got the best immune system out of all of them right now.
It's like, no, go away. Which I would expect from Lino, like, go away.
Well, he's probably like that right now. Yeah, they had to postpone dates in Atlanta and Fort Worth, so which again was like the one-stop dates. The only one-stop date they got off was Chicago.
Oh
yeah. JYP, I swear. We just want to sit down and have just a very brief talk about how you're booking these shows, especially with Stray Kids, especially with ITZY, because ITZY has really, really small venues for their shows. Just want to talk about that. That's all.
JYP, I would say I love you, but our relationship is a little frayed right now. I just want to talk. We just want to have a conversation about this.
Yeah, no better.
Hopefully. No, we're not salty at all. So also, yeah, shout out to all those Mitzies who did get concert tickets for their tour coming up. They got the TXT treatment where there was like small venues once again, and it's just like, why are we doing this repeatedly with K-pop groups? Worried about the upcoming Enhypen tour? That's probably going to be small venues, I have a feeling. That makes me worried.
We just want to have a very civilized and articulate conversation that will not involve any screaming or name calling or hand gestures of the offensive variety.
Right.
Definitely an eye-opener for people who, planning to see like K-pop concerts. You gotta know how like the business works with, like the ticketing business. What K-pop should do in the near future of kind of like follow BTS's example. Because that was a pretty good, cool idea that they should have done. They're relying on, like other like scalpers like Ticketmasters.
Yeah.
I know a couple of our friends have mentioned this when the Stray Kids tour first got announced, wondering if tickets will sell portion of it from like the ticketing perspective, bookings and things like that. BTS is one thing. Then you have all of these other groups, and I guess from the touring perspective, guess there is concern, and I use that word lightly, about whether or not these tickets will sell, which is why they've gotten put into smaller venues when we, from the fan perspective, know that these bitches can sell out these dates.
Yeah.
And can sell out bigger
venues,
stadiums if they want to. Maybe
learn and grow.
Gonna sound like favoritism. Maybe not quite to the BTS level. Maybe they can, but they're definitely not going to be booking MetLife,
No, I agree. They're not quite to like full on like arenas that BTS was like, Citi Field, MetLife, Soldier Field, SoFi. Allegiant. I know you have your feelings about SoFi, seeing them in LA. I know you have your feelings.
I think everybody that went to SoFi has feelings about SoFi.
Yeah, I heard there were some horror stories about SoFi. There's still bigger venues in these cities that like a lot of the K-pop idols can like go to. Like Stray Kids at least got the bigger venues, like Prudential, got United Center. They got the bigger venues in these cities. It's weird, like groups that are almost like on the same level as Stray Kids are not getting those same venues. It's just weird. A group like ATEEZ still got like level just below them and still sold out those venues too. And I'm like, where's the thought process going on with some of these groups and some of the booking and stuff? I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know if it's confirmed or rumored or something that Blackpink, 1, is coming back with an album next month. And 2, it's gonna go on like, quote, the biggest like K-pop girl group worldwide tour.
A lot more drama.
Supposedly.
Yeah, a lot more drama than, like I've heard.
I know you're not the biggest Blackpink fan, Ray.
I'm gonna take a nap right here.
That's fine.
It's not that. I would like to think, given the example that some of these K-pop groups' ticketing processes have shown, I would like to think that they would follow in the footsteps one day of BTS of, God forbid, giving us a fan pre-sale. That would be really nice, so we don't run into these scalping issues like we did with these shows, because how many groups went out in the last 3 weeks? Because the ones I've kept track of were Stray Kids, TXT, Dreamcatcher,
Yeah.
ITZY.
No, ITZY, 17's got shows coming up, which I've had some insane scalping prices.
The sad part is that people are realizing now after BTS tickets have gone through their whole process that, oh, you can make money off of these. And there's nothing stopping them from snatching up as many tickets as they want to and doing this whole scalping thing. And that crap drives me nuts.
Yeah, I think that's what I got from the vibes from the...
Who else is on tour right now? I think MCMD is just going on their first US tour. I haven't checked their ticket prices, but I'm sure they're probably getting snatched up too.
Mm-hmm. You mean ones that possess a bank account with our own name on it?
Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of it is, I think, stem too, because I think younger fandoms and the fandoms who are not as knowledgeable about ticketing and stuff too, I think there's a little bit of a thought process through that too. So, because I've seen a lot of talk online about people thinking about that.
Exactly. It's just...
It's a lot of education we have to do, I think, for some of these younger fandoms as well, especially as older fans like ourselves, like you and me, right? Us, you too, Jenny, if you...
The whole ticketing system is just a joke at this point. I do commend BTS for having their ARMY memberships, which definitely helps kind of stem a lot of that problem. There is still a problem, but not as bad as we've seen with other shows. Because did ATEEZ didn't have any kind of pre-sale. It was like just open the doors wide open, right?
Yeah, who could, afford tickets, but don't want to pay exorbitant prices out the butt to go see the groups we love. So we just want to pay decent prices to go see the groups we love and to go support them.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to pay thousands of dollars to go sit on the floor, basically, is what I'm asking. I'm not asking to go pay $2,000 or pay, half of my, or like pay like 3 months of rent just to go see Stray Kids sit on the floor. You know what I mean? That's all I'm asking.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I could have a whole hours-long discussion about that. Stray Kids was just a straight-up joke because they did it by time zones.
Mm-hmm.
No pre-sales or nothing, so it's just when the floodgates opened at 3 p.m., it was Atlanta and New York.
Yeah. When everything came back, opening up with pandemic, it did. But, I mean, I don't think they had anything because it was a different world in 2019, obviously, when the tickets originally went on sale 2019, 2020.
Exactly.
All the tickets were still available for the old tour at that point. So ATEEZ was a weird situation because like the tickets were all still valid that people got way back in 2020 for the tour in 2022. For if they do another tour, which I don't know if there is happening because they've talked about potentially going another tour. I don't know if they're coming back to the States as them coming to KCON or them actually going on another tour at the end of the year. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know what KQ would do in this situation. I'm hoping they would do some kind of fan pre-sale. I don't know. I don't know if they have the capabilities. Because like it's one thing, I think like the bigger companies like SM and JYP and YG and Hybe like have the capabilities to push like Ticketmaster to be able to do like these fan pre-sales. I don't know about these smaller companies like FNC or like KQ are able to have that kind of sway, that kind of push. So we'll have to wait and see. Like tours like that. So
because apparently we're the world.
Let's get going on these reviews because like I said, we got a bunch of reviews today. Most of the groups from Queendom have who are competing in Queendom, decided to drop new music while we were off. So we're going to kind of do like this little mini like Queendom segment of reviews first before we kind of get into the rest of the review block for this week. And we're just going to kind of go in the order of who won and in the placeholders of Queendom, just to kind of get those out of the way first. Just kind of as our like little deep dive into Queendom, since we didn't really talk about Queendom that much on the show. But let's get going with our first review, and that is going to be the first place winners of Queendom Season 2, WJSN, also known as Cosmic Girls, and their brand new album Sequence, which came out back on the 5th of July here. I guess their title track, Last Sequence. Now, I haven't listened to a lot of Cosmic Girls or WJSN in the past, so I think this is like my first time actually like sitting down actually listening to a full album of theirs myself. And I have to say, I was kind of actually surprised. I actually kind of enjoyed listening to this album, including the title track Last Sequence. It was very like this already take on Euro Vogue.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought when I listened to the music. I feel like it's a bit more of like a neo-disco essence to it, but yeah, I think kind of noticed that a lot of our albums with like within the Queendom groups have a lot of like house influence with them, and like either house or a bit of like a disco funk fusion with their music.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Like we're gonna see a lot of that coming up here in these next couple albums I'm gonna talk about. I don't know if that was intentional or not.
Upbeat and bright for summer. Groundbreaking.
A lot of them have like a summer themed albums. It's like if you notice that with some of the groups here, and so I don't know if Emma told me you gotta have a summer theme comeback when you guys do your next albums after this.
Yeah, it's like it's gotta be summer themed and summer feelings. You know what I mean? Which is not a bad thing considering it's not a bad thing because it's summertime, but it's
Hot girl summer.
truly hot girl summer. I enjoyed it because it was really bright and just kind of fun, and I kind of do dig and I kind of vibe with this, and I understand why people like WJSN. Like, I can understand why they have a pretty solid fan base out there. Even though I haven't listened to much of their stuff, I can kind of dig into it.
Yeah, I think it really like helps with the productions that Starship Entertainment does with their artists, because they have like a lot of great bass productions with with a lot of their music. So I think this one's another great addition to it.
Oh yeah. Starship definitely, I think, really thrives in that like clubbier sound that we've seen. I mean, we see a little bit with Monsta X. I don't know if we see it a lot with Gravity. I feel like Gravity's still trying to establish themselves. I've kind of seen it with IVE. Yeah, I might have. I'm not 100% sure if you did.
I don't know. I don't know.
I kind of sense elements of like IVE, like we've seen from IVE coming through with this. Yeah, you can kind of see like why they're sister groups, very much so in this disco-y sound. And I really, really like it. Like, I like this very clubby sound, and like it's very third generation with a lot of the vocal trills in it too. And I really like that. I kind of like that throwbacky sound. So I've been seeing a lot of like third gen groups really establishing like that third gen sound again, which has been really nice, and not like trying to hop on like the fourth gen tropes, and really sticking with what they've been doing, especially like groups who have formed in the third generation. So I really appreciate that immensely. I mean, what do you think of the other two songs on the track? Because this is really a single release. It's a last sequence as well as two other tracks, including the song Dung as well as Stronger, which is a duet featuring two of the members, Daewon and Youngjun.
I think I enjoyed Done equally as Last Sequence. I think this has more of like a 90s house pop sound into it, because I think it has house dance or house pop. It's like has like the piano fashion type of sound to it. So that's exactly what I thought of.
Yeah, it felt like very voguey, clubby. Like I could feel like at a Drake show. That's kind of vibe I was getting with Done. And I really like the juxtaposition of like the driving bass to the softer vocals that they have. I like that juxtaposition upon the song. It kind of gives this cool duality to it. What do you think, Ray?
I actually really loved all three of the songs. I was in the dark about this. I had obviously heard of them before, but I hadn't really like sat down and listened through their stuff. And listening to these couple songs, I'm like, oh, okay, this is not what I thought it was going to be, because I thought it was going to be way more bright. I guess I was expecting it to be more of that. And I like that they kind of mellowed it back a little bit with the house vibes that you're talking about. It still is very upbeat, but I do like that they took this particular approach. I dig it. Stronger. I do like my slower tracks. I am a sucker for a good slow track.
I am too. I really liked it. It's this really nice kind of melodic song to kind of finish it up. I think it's also because I think Daewon, she didn't compete during Kingdom. She was actually off on hiatus for anxiety during the filming of Queendom. I don't know if she's officially back from hiatus or not. I couldn't see in confirmation. So if any fans of WJSN could confirm for me, that'd be great. But yeah, this I think is like her comeback into the group from her hiatus, I think. So it was kind of a nice to see her kind of coming back into this with this duet, and just being able to kind of get back into the fold, because it seems like members are always kind of coming and going with WJSN, because they always are like it's a bigger group. I think they have 12 or 13 members. I think.
Yeah, I think so. It's like the same as Loona's.
It's a bigger group, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like 17. They're a very big group. Not as big as NCT, but they're a bigger group. I was really pleasantly surprised with Cosmic Girls with WJSN's. I might have to go look in their back discography and just see like how this compares to their past work, and see if this is like a newer sound for them, or like how it compares to their older stuff. So I'm kind of curious to jump back.
It was their attempt at the summer vibe jam, and unfortunately, I think it just kind of fell drastically short. It sounds like a lot of the stuff I would expect to kind of hear, like what we talked about earlier about the summer vibe kind of feeling. It definitely is going for that and not in the best way, just because it sounds like some of the stuff that I would expect to kind of be hearing around this time. And with that, it kind of makes it not stand out. Just kind of like the radio noise. It's like white noise.
There was one where they did like a subunit with several members where I really enjoyed the beat. A lot of bass driven with the productions. Oh, but I forgot what the song. And it was like the music video was black and white, but I forgot what the song was called.
That's something we'll have to check out at a later time. But
Right.
let's move on to our second place group from Queendom in our Queendom block here. And that is the group Loona and their comeback album, which came out back on 6/20 Summer Special, parenthetical Flip That, with the title track Flip That. I've been trying to get into Loona because I know, Jenni, you've talked about Loona quite a bit. Our friend Chris has talked about Loona quite a bit and is a big fan of Loona.
I'm not part of the Stan Loona, but I do get like the hype.
I've been trying to get into Loona because they're definitely one of those like smaller agency girl groups that like deserves a look. I wasn't really vibing much with Flip That though.
Same here. To me, I think that's my personal taste because I really enjoy most of their high energy, a bit of a hip hop side. It's like the best example was with So What?
Yeah, it was very generic kind of girl groupy. It really felt like that. Like the track itself felt slow and draggy to me. Like it just had very little energy. I mean, I'm listening to K-pop. I'm expecting a lot of energy usually to the track. It didn't really grab me in any way.
Or even like really dug their other house, which is Why Not. So I really enjoyed those. Yeah, it kind of fell out when we went to the Paint the Town comeback, but still enjoyed much the same. But I think with this, like I can get if they want to try something new with the concept, but it's just pretty much like your run of the mill girl group because the music video, even the music itself, feels like so much like Twice would do.
Yeah.
It really reminded me of like the music video for More and More. Like, are we in the same location here?
Yeah, it just falls on the wayside just because of how just bland it is. Because we've seen so many other like summary tracks, like not just this year, but past years that sound like it. So it just really falls by the wayside, unfortunately. Sad and disappointing is that the rest of the album is so much better than the title track.
Yeah, and it didn't really match or associate with the identity and the concept of what Loona is originally. Whenever I think of Loona, I think of like more of a cosmic essence into it. It talks about the moon and like even like their songs mention that, but I don't feel any connections with the original concept.
I am a neutral party player. There's a couple Loona tracks that I do like, but I have not done the hardcore deep dive, so I can't make a judgment call on like, oh yeah, this is definitely how Loona sounds all the time, or oh my god, no. Coming at it from a new person perspective, I definitely I can kind of understand where you guys are coming from. I was like the Red Velvet stuff from last time I was here, was disappointed in the title track, but the rest of it did work for me. What is the deal on that with the big groups? And it's like, oh yeah, the title track sucks, but everything else is great.
Yeah, the B-sides are by far the better songs on this track.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. It's like, okay, I didn't love the title track, but the B-sides, totally recommend like let's listen to the rest of the album just minus the title track. Just skip that and just listen to the B-sides. A lot of those could have been like the title track. What was it? The song. I think the Pale Blue Dot should have been more like the summer vibe, like title track that they should have promoted.
I could see Pale Blue Dot kind of being the summer song for them. It builds up really beautifully, and it could really fit as a summer song. I will give a shout out to Pose, which apparently was their Queendom finale song that they performed on the last episode of Queendom, the live finale, which is kind of an amazing song. Hands down, I could see why they use it as a finale song for Queendom. It's got this really great kind of beat to it, and it really does kind of make you want to do like Pose, like voguing like the 90s. It really is very dancey, very clubby in that kind of respect, and I really enjoyed that.
It's funny. That was pretty much how I described the Red Velvet Pose. Because it has like the same, like type of like feel, but this is more of like a house, while this has more of like a hip hop incorporation, which I really dug. really reminiscent to like some of their past hits, such as So What, because it has like a really like powerful type of hip hop, chanting in unison and all of that, especially within the chorus.
Yeah.
But it's not as like overtly loud as like the last song. I think this is a much better comparison to Paint the Town, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, Paint the Town I think was okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, it wasn't like our favorite Loona title track. Which I think we both were like that.
Yes, exactly. I think it needed a lot more hip hop for Paint Town.
Yeah.
I think it brought more energy into it.
BSides, amazing. Title track, could use some work.
There should be like a definition for that. Like, I don't like the title track, but the rest of BSides, I totally recommend.
Yeah, there should be some kind of like phrase or something for that. I don't know what it is. I'm sure there is something out there, but who knows? I don't know. Yeah, like I said, this is definitely one like where the B-sides are definitely worth checking out. Title track might be just a skip, honestly, on this one.
Yeah.
But let's move on to our third place group in our Queendom block here, and that's the group Viviz, formerly 3 members of the group G-Friend, and their second mini album Summer Vibe with their title track Love Aid. Not gonna lie, I'm still sitting here like, why did G-Friend disband? Why did G-Friend disband? Because
I think a lot of people are asking still, why did they disband?
The greatest mystery of the greatest mystery of all. Why did G-Friend disband?
And a little column A and column B.
Oh, us and I think most of the industry is asking that because we don't know what Source is doing. That is a good question because that made no sense. But I'm so happy, at least with Viviz being out there. I really dug this whole entire album. I thought, great, this is like the pinnacle, I think, of like summer album. This is what I point to for being like summertime album. This really does catch summer vibes.
This song, there's like a great contenders of like summer theme songs with some of the groups here. But but this one is kind of making me crave for Lemonade. I don't know why. I don't know why. It must have been the music video or the music.
Maybe a little bit of both. Yeah, I really liked Love Aid. I really like the title track. It's this kind of very sweet song. Like it is sweet like lemonade. And it's got this really fun, it's this fun summer pop. It really is like summer pop to perfection, I feel like. But it's like summer pop that is done right and it still stands out.
Something you can enjoy listening to.
Yeah. Which is, I guess, our biggest complaint to Loona, which is kind of it's generic, falls by the wayside. This stands out, at least.
Yeah, and you can pretty much tell like how much of like this is like a Viviz type of music, because like they really rely, like even G-Friend, like in their latter music or music eras, was like they really dove into like a more of like a retro sound and like a bit of like that funk disco tracks.
Yeah, they definitely, and they do that. And I'll have to say the harmonies that these 3 have, especially on this title track, are just gorgeous to listen to. Like, I really like those harmonies, especially in the chorus. Like, it really kind of fulfills that poppy sound to it that sometimes you just want when you're like on the beach in the summertime. It just fits.
Yeah, exactly. Living.
But yeah, like even some of the other tracks on this album too, like you go right into like Siesta, the track after that, and just it's the perfect pairing. It carries on exactly the same feelings you have from Love Aid. I just like the bright driving guitars on that track.
Oh yeah, this is like puts me back into like the Daft Punk influence and like the disco electronic dance, because it really reminds me of like a lot of like their Discovery album from Daft Punk, and it's like, oh, this could have been like the robot, the musicians behind Daft Punk, like actually like was involved with this. Is like I like to believe in that, my little conspiracy.
Your little headcanon.
Yeah.
The way the album is put together, it puts together like this like feeling like an awesome like summer day, going to the beach and having fun and hanging with your friends and just all the adventures you're gonna have and everything. Maybe just finding like that summer love. Kind of continues that with like with Love Love Love, which has this fun like Euro clubby beat.
Yeah, that's my favorite song of all the album. I think this one really encapsulates the Euro house synth pop music.
Yeah.
I really love the experimentation with like the keyboard instrumentals, and they pretty much got that on point.
Yeah, I think they nailed that Euro sound the best. A lot of the groups were dabbling in it. They've nailed it the best out of all of them that we've talked about. This one just came out on the 6th. So like this one just literally came out of all the groups. So it's like just in time for like pinnacle summer here. How I've kind of finished up to, like, I like Flashback because it has this like 90s R&B hip hop. Kind of reminded me a little bit of Mamamoo in a way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was getting some like Mamamoo vibes from it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I can really see that. But actually, yeah, with this, I noted it down. it's a really successful throwback type of pop sound because this would pretty much a lot of first gen artists such as Boa and even SES would probably try to do. And it has like that New Jack Swing type of sound, like if you're familiar with like the term New Jack Swing, a lot of the elements that you would hear from a lot of the songs, you can kind of hear the same thing with Flashback. Not too strong, but you can kind of hear like the sounds, like, oh, it can remind me of like this type of music.
No, I can see that too, which I mean fits the name. Hashtag Flashback. Totally fits. They nailed it across the board. And then I think just the final track on the album, Dance, it's kind of this nice, like calming, like finale. It kind of fits. It's like this nice sunset on the beach, kind of just to wrap up the day. It's a great summer album. If I'm thinking summer album, I'm really going to go to Summer Vibe. This is like my go-to summer album, I think, at this point for the summer for K-pop.
Yeah, they nailed the title down in music. It's a kind of a difficult preference because I don't know if I love Loona's like B-sides or like Viviz's album. Yeah, I could kind of say the same thing from like Loona's final track, which was Dream, and even with their last track, which Dance. It's not sentimental because how like they always do with like their final songs, with they slow it down. This one, it has like a more like a dream aspect and like like very soothing music, or like helps you calm down.
Okay.
The thing with Viviz's Dance song, which has like a bit of like a lounge jazz, so you can like really like chill out at night, relax and all that, and listening to that song.
Yeah, I can see that. Did you get a chance to listen to this one, Ray? I know we threw a ton of music at you this week, so
I did get a chance to listen to most of it. We're definitely gonna have differing opinions on it. I think this is where my emo sun hating ass is gonna kick in really hardcore and just be like, no. I do like what they've done overall with trying to accomplish the Summer Vibe album. Love Aid probably was not my personal favorite track. I would say Flashback was. I'm just gonna call it Throwback Thursday. I feel like Flashback was probably my favorite song on the album, and I know we're going for summer and we're going for bright and peppy and happy, which is probably my least favorite time of year. I don't know. I think it just went a little too bright for me. And I feel like it's a sound that like we've said before, like one that we've kind of heard before. Like if I want to listen to this kind of like really bright bubbliness, then like I'll go listen to Rocket Punch or something.
I get it. It is kind of, a bit too sugary for my taste. That's why I think I prefer the B-sides more than the title track. I still enjoyed myself. I would listen to the B-sides more than the title track. Yeah.
And it's fair. Like I said, I do commend them for the effort. I do like what they've done with it kind of overall. It's a personal preference thing. Like it's just not my particular style, but I still like what they've done with their B-sides. And I will say that Flashback was my favorite one. Well, I have my Spotify open, so it's easy to just like pop in and look at it. Dance was also a really good track for me. It was a really good, just a slow, jammy kind of vibe. And that's what I feel like when I listen to. That's kind of the vibe I think of when I think of like summer nights or something. That's kind of where my brain goes to, is more summer nights than like summer days.
Right? Oh, yeah. I can totally see that. Yeah, that's what I think too.
I can see that. Those are valid criticisms, honestly. This might be too sweet for some people. I mean, I think it works for me. I mean, I occasionally like to have like my sweeter moments amongst all my darker moments. You know me, Ray. I cross all spectrums.
I will have my bubblegummy moments, but I do have my go-tos. I feel like it's just outside of that range that I would want to access, if I was in that sort of bright, bubbly kind of mood. It's like just outside of it. It's still good, but it's like, am I going to reach for that one first? Probably not. But that's okay. It would still be on the list somewhere. Just not in like top 5 tracks.
Not your taste.
Fair enough. But let's, I guess, move on to our final of our Queendom block here with the 5th place group in our block of Queendom groups. And that is the group Kepler with their newest album, Double Last, I believe is how it's pronounced.
Double Last?
Double Last? I'm not sure how to pronounce it.
The Blast?
Which came back out on the 20th of June. And the title track, Up.
The Blast.
Yeah, it's like Double Blast. It's like Double Last or Double Blast. I don't know.
I'm just calling it Dub Blast.
The Blast.
Dub Blast.
Doing those weird naming conventions they like to do in Korean, make weird English words occasionally.
To be fair, English is just a weird language.
Mix-ups or like combinations.
Legit. It really is. But yeah, with this title track up, I mean, I don't think it's my favorite Kepler song. It's not my favorite after their last album, after First Impact with Wadada. Like Wadada, I really enjoyed. Not this again the same kind of vibes with Up. I mean, it's bright, fun, funky kind of, but
Another summer beat, like but yeah, I agree. I agree. I think this one it's kind of really difficult to live up to like your debut song, most of the time. So yeah, this one is just okay, I guess. It's just like another like reminiscent type of like throwback type of music because it really is like another example of like a disco funk house sound. It kind of reminded me of like the beat, even the bass kind of reminds me of like that 90s song Groove is in the Heart. It's funky, yeah, but nothing that much of like significance to this comeback.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, even got like a bit of like a Jackson sound to it because like when you hear like the it's like wow, there's something like coming from like Michael Jackson or like his siblings. It's like okay, funky and like has like the brass type of like instrumentals with it. Yeah, pretty much.
It's kind of like, oh, okay. We got a new album by Kepler. Okay. It's not like wadded out. This is cool. I like this.
I put that on my notes. This is my reverse Loona. Because you know how like I enjoyed the B-sides from Loona. I think this one I think I just enjoyed the title track and that's it. Yeah, I think the only one I enjoyed, I think their track called Rewind. But yeah, it's pretty much what I have, what I just like I guess try to like from like the rest of the songs. But I think I prefer Up as my favorite track from them.
There's elements there. I just don't think they quite went all the way that they could have with them to make something pretty cool with it. There's something missing to this.
Not that they didn't go as far, it wasn't polished what they did.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, they didn't polish it to make it like a shining diamond. And so it's just kind of like, oh, okay. I mean, and then like the rest of the B-sides just kind of are like, to me, like there's nothing really to write home about, unfortunately. Like I'm just in here like, I'm at CJ&M. What are you doing with your girl project groups right now? Like
it's very meh. And not more just like meh.
It's the best way of putting it. Yeah, because like Les Voyage spelled with a 9, mind you.
Voyage.
And Attention are just like feel really uninspired to me. They just feel very generic.
Mm-hmm.
They had them like waiting in the wings, and they're just like, we have don't know where to put them. We'll just give them to Kepler and have them. So, and that was about it. Like it's just really it's kind of sick.
This was a hard one to get through. For me, this was a really hard one to get through. I was on the struggle bus with this one.
This is why they were placed in 5th place.
Oh, that's mean.
Usually
I'm the one that hits below the belt.
No, okay, that's kind of mean. That's kind of mean. I take it back. I'm joking, guys. I just had it in my mind like, should I say that or no? I'm gonna get like canceled by like.
It's just kind of sad how impressed we were with Wadada and how impressed we were with the first album and like some of the stuff they had during Girls Planet 999 to before the group came out, and then just to see this come out and you're like, really, this is your second offering? Okay.
Yeah.
It's like when you get that really bad sequel after an awesome movie. You're like, oh, I'm so looking forward to it. And then you get it and you're like, what the hell did these people do to this?
It's kind of disappointing.
And it's so weird because that is Mnet's baby.
Right. And it's like, why did I like the first one begin with? Kind of how I feel right now. Especially with all these like really good girl groups out right now. Like, not me just still shaking it. I'm still getting wins for Love Dive at this point in 2022. Like, can we talk about that?
I think I kind of helped them win because I've been listening to like Love Dive recently, and then like after that they got like their ninth win. Like, oh, I think I must have pushed like their Spotify like streamings and all that.
Yeah, I was just like, there's another girl group right now. Like I've like just been killing it right now. It's sad to see this kind of fall, just kind of like, ugh. So
it definitely faded into the void a little bit. That time of year void where, things just get lost in the cracks because it's just not what it's cracked up to be. And
yeah,
it fell into that void, unfortunately. I'm sorry, not sorry, but,
yeah, it's where it's gonna end up, guys. Sorry, Kepler. Sorry, guys. But let's move on now that we're out of our Queendom bubble here. And let's move on to our other reviews of the week because we got a whole bunch of other ones to get to. And I guess our first one is we're going to get to is from way back on June 13th because we're playing catch up, guys. I told you we're playing catch up this week. This is way back from June 13th, and this is Wonho with his newest EP, Facade.
With his new Thirst Trap project.
Yes, the Ultimate Thirst Trap himself, the himbo himself, Wonho. Y'all have not checked out his Instagram. Just saying.
You want to get real technical with it. There's 2 people in this group that are definitely fighting for the Thirst Trap Himbo of the month.
Yeah.
Although I would say someone else is giving a run for his money currently right now, and we'll get to him later.
Yeah.
2 himbos.
Oh, it ain't just him, honey. It's not just him.
Of the summer.
Yeah.
You know damn well what I'm talking about.
Status.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I think I know who you're talking about.
I saw those pictures yesterday. Yeah, we'll get to that next. I know damn what you're talking about. Hi. All right, let's get into Wonho here with Facade and with Crazy. It's weird how it takes a while to get started, the song. Like, it was like an intro to this album, and then there's an intro to the song, and then the song actually gets going. I'm like,
yeah, okay, because I forgot like how the song started. That's pretty much how we're gonna start this review because I think it's my fault on my part because I think I listened to it like a couple of times last June and then didn't really get back into it. But I can already tell like my first listen. I think this is the weakest title track from his solo work so far. Yeah, I mean like the arrangement and the production of it, like it feels like so run of the mill. Like there's nothing that really grabs onto you as like his songs Open Mind or Lose, or even like his previous single Eye on You has like that kind of like energy into it that really defines his artistry as Wonho. And I think with this it's just like almost like crawling into the generic round.
yeah, for Wonho at least, where his bread and butter is into this like more sensual like rock vibe. This kind of feels very generic for him, and it's sad because I'm always looking forward to like hearing his stuff come out because he always has good stuff, and this just was like, oh, this is the song, this is what we got this time around. I'm a little disappointed.
And it's not to say that it like completely sucks.
No,
but it's more just like on the list of good, it's definitely meandering kind of towards the bottom of that list. But it's still on the good list, mind you. We haven't moved into the suck phase quite yet.
right?
But no, we're not quite there. It's still good. It's just not as good as some of the predecessors that have come before it.
Yeah.
We have a standard. We have a expectation from our high status man candy, and I feel like it did not carry this time. It still is good. Like you guys said, it's kind of just I expected something a little bit more like a little bit more.
That's a bad way of like describing when it comes to like Wonho, like but
More to the face. More like a punch to the face.
yeah, I think it has to have more push into this, like more something like really impacts with the beat and all that. Because I feel like he's just like falling through with with the melody. Is like okay, it's like running through this song. Is like okay, let's just get this over with.
Yeah, it's weirdly like I said, but then it started. It's just like okay, like there's this intro. Like when does the song start? When does the song start? Wonho, when are you starting this song? It feels like it takes like 30 seconds, 40 seconds to start. It takes a while.
No, this isn't like one of my metal bands that has like a 2-minute like guitar
You're no Metallica.
riffed intro. Okay, this is not how that works.
In time, baby, in time.
On an 8-minute track, like this is not that, man. Keep it moving.
Oh, like it's like he's trying to tease you to start the song, but it's like it doesn't work. Yeah, I felt very.
You can say let down.
Yeah, I was let down a little bit. Sorry, I'm sorry, Wonho. I was let down.
We know he can do better. We've seen it. It just was a hiccup, if you will.
I know he could do better.
I can do better. I can do better.
To be fair, one of the B-sides is an English version from a previously released track, if I remember right.
I think it's the Korean version of an English track.
Oh, Korean version. Sorry, I'm looking at something else. Yes, it was the Korean version of a different track that had come out previously. We have an intro, outro, and essentially 2 new tracks.
So, White Miracle.
It's a quota album. It's one that you do to just kind of meet the quota. We got the album for the summer out, and then we're on to the next thing.
It's like a filler. Yeah, it's very filler.
Essentially, one being the title track. So I feel like this is almost like a holdover album, like almost like Highlight needed him to like put something out. You know what I mean?
You call them fillers, I call them quota albums.
Yeah, it just kind of feels like a filler album in a way, just to kind of hold everyone over till we get hopefully something really good next, which I'm hoping.
It's just same kind of thing.
Almost uninspired. It's almost uninspired.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So
yeah. I'm still in the baby step era, but I know at least his title tracks and some of his B-sides. But even I can kind of say, I was like, okay, this is not what I was expecting a little bit, but
sadly,
it's still okay.
Both work, honestly, in this case. I feel like, again, like I said, just a little disappointing in our aspect, because we both really do like Wonho, and I mean, I think you do like Wonho too, Ray. So yeah, it's fine. It's a good hold for right now until hopefully something better comes down the road. So, and we'll just leave it at that. Let's get to the album I know Ray's been dying to talk about, because I know this is why
we don't have to just fulfill my needs for today. Like, it doesn't have to go that way.
But she literally texted me, she's like, can I be on the show? Can I be on the show, please? No, I'm not calling you out, right? But because Ray is a hidden card, we had to talk about Cards. Big comeback, because they're finally back as a group of 4 now that J-Stuff's out of the military. Officially.
He's like he's the only member like who needs to like enlist for the military, because BM is like American, so he doesn't have to go, and the rest are girls.
Yeah, he still has his American citizenship, so
yeah, so he doesn't have to enlist, thankfully. So, because man, we don't need to miss that thirst content from Instagram.
No, not just Instagram. Apparently the photo book in the album, because my God.
Oh yeah, no, Ray was showing me pictures of that.
Feel free to pop up the picture on your video of what I'm talking about, because
oh yeah, just please send me the video, or please send me like the picture so I can just put that up.
Yeah, I will show you after the recording today, Jenny. But
okay,
Ray was posting pictures on our Discord yesterday. Also, because of you, I did buy the album. So, Ray.
Very Calvin Klein-esque.
But yes, we're talking about Cards. Technically, their 5th mini album, and their title track, Ring the Alarm. Like I said, they are back as a group of 4. This is, I think, their first album basically in almost 2 years, since because they had a Gunshot come out before J-Stuff went into the military, I think.
Or EP.
They had their singles album, which was the 3 tracks, which apparently is the difference between a singles and a mini album, because the singles album was 3 and their mini album, well, even Red Moon had 5 tracks, so clearly know what the difference is.
Like 6.
Little over 2 years since the last mini album.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, it slaps you in the face with it real hard, like straight from the start.
Yeah, with Ring the Alarm, like, I'm not gonna lie, they came back in full force, embracing their sound, because like they're always like this like more Latin pop, and they've fully embraced into a Latin pop sound, and it's full on with this track.
Which is what they're known for, and it makes sense because most of their fan base is more Latin, South America, like Central America kind of vibes. Like, that's their domain. That's where they're most popular.
It's like the Latin pop and a bit of reggaeton into it as well.
Yeah.
I was about to say, it makes sense with his LA roots. It definitely makes sense.
Yeah, they have a lot of South.
There's a reason their next 2 tour dates are only in Mexico and Chile.
Yeah, and plus I think BM is fluent. Yeah, I think BM is fluent in like Hispanic too, or like Spanish culture and the language.
I think just from growing up in LA.
Hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, like I know they have a very heavy like presence in South America. Like they have a very heavy South American fan base.
I think I saw something about they're supposed to do a US tour. I don't know when that's going to happen because I've heard nothing else outside of like one small one-off comment.
Aha.
I wonder why.
I hope they do. I would like to see them on tour. Actually, I'd love to actually go check them out live because they have a lot of not just on this album, but a lot of their past stuff is like really, really good. And I mean, and the thing is, Card is unique too because they're a co-ed group, 2 men, 2 women. So that's a rarity in K-pop. Like most of the co-ed groups that have tried to be out in this on the scene have failed in the past.
I think I can count on one hand the number of other co-ed groups that I can think of right offhand.
Yeah, and most of them have failed. I don't think have lasted as long as Card.
Yeah, I think the one that I don't know if we mentioned here in the podcast, but I think this co-ed group that I was looking forward to, it just already dissolved. They're like, what? That's it?
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, that's kind of like, that's a bummer.
Yeah, like the co-ed groups do not last in the K-pop industry, so that's what kind of makes Card an anomaly in itself because they've lasted for so long because they've been around since what 2018, 2019? 17. They've been around longer than I thought. They've been around for a while.
I can't remember their debut date was 2016, but their first release was 2017.
2017, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I got familiar with them in 2019 with some of their singles and stuff before, obviously, and then into 2020 before J-Step went into the military. Yeah, I mean, they have a really, really fun, like, again, they have I love the Latin sound that they've really, really embraced. Ring the Alarm really does embrace that, and it's just fun with Jiwoo and Somin, their harmonies and stuff, embracing that. And then you have like, the very baritone voices of both BM and J-Step too, because like they're both like more baritone side of things. So they complement each other really, really well.
Oh yeah, yeah. So wait, the one with like this, I guess the small girl is Jiwoo, right? Or what's her?
Jiwoo right now is currently blonde and rainbow hair, and
she's like the short, I guess like the short small girl, small queen. Yeah, that's what I pretty much like call her. And then Somi is like the name, like the taller girl.
Somin's she's got a higher tone voice than Jiwoo does, so you'll be able to pick her vocals out apart from Jiwoo's.
Yeah.
A little easier.
Yeah. I just couldn't remember the names, like so it was Somi and Jiwoo.
Yeah, Somin and Jiwoo.
Somin and Jiwoo. Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, like this whole album is really good because like it really does fit into the Latin sound. To start the album breakdown, it's a slower song, but I think it really starts off the album very well.
It's a heavy hitter, but it's a great heavy hitter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how Jiwoo started the song with her deep ass voice was like, okay, like wow, I'm really like, damn.
Like it's like, okay, we're back in. Hi, we're back with Card. I'm here.
It's kind of like, hi, did you miss me? And it's like, yes, I did, honey. Please, I missed you so much. It's been a while.
And then I think Good Love is almost like, I feel like more of like a mainstream take on their like Latin sound. I mean, you still have the Latin sound, but it feels like a little bit more like a mainstream, like approachable take of it. Like, and that's not in a bad way, I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bad way to say mainstream.
Yeah.
I think for like the general public, because I know a lot of people are still like, don't know a lot about Card. And I'm like, if you want and you're not 100% sure about Card, this is still pretty approachable, but I still say you should listen to their singles, honestly, or listen to their title tracks because those are there's like pinnacle Card right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything like, obviously, like Ring the Alarm or listen to like Red Moon or Dumb Litty or, Bomb Bomb. Like,
even like Bomb Bomb or You and Me, like those are amazing tracks to go back to.
Exactly. Or one of my favorite B-sides, Inferno. That's one of my favorite B-sides.
Yes. I love that.
You want to go hard, go listen to Inferno. But
I was kind of like pausing because I don't know if I should say like this song Ring the Alarm could be like a good like an easy a gateway for people to listen to KARD, but I think I want to like make them go all out, just listen to like Bomb Bomb or some of their like their earlier tracks. This was like really like a soft, really easy approach because it's not as like energetic and loud as like some like some of their last songs or their last.
It still is a hard hitter, but the heaviness of like Dumb Litty or Bomb Bomb, even like, I think Dumb Litty hits harder than Bomb Bomb
it hits
does,
way harder,
but it still hits pretty hard, even though it's not as like bass heavy, especially as Dumb Litty is. It goes.
Yeah, I agree.
And I live for it.
So, but yeah, I think this is a great album. Like I that. I'm happy KARD's back. I really, really am. I'm really happy. Because I also say happy birthday to me. This came out on my birthday on 6/22, so this was kind of a nice birthday present.
In the words of BM, happy birthday. Here's some cake. Let me show you this cake.
That man is a walking meme. I swear to God.
And he delivers. Like he knows he's a walking meme. Like after like the big titty thing.
Yeah,
like,
big titty committee. No. Yeah.
Which I will probably say I do have the hoodie he collabed. He collabed with a streetwear company in LA. I did actually get the big titty committee hoodie he was making because all the proceeds were going to breast cancer research. So yeah, it was all for good cause. It's a good thing. So.
Yeah, how he made it from a meme to like a better cause, like breast cancer. So really good on him.
All because basically he was.
I have definitely seen a BM pen on Etsy. I think that said a big titty committee on it, but it's like the outline. And you know how you see some of those pins that are just like the two shades, where it's just like the one shade of the body and then like the outline or like the extra little lines for that. Yeah, it has that, and if I remember right, I think it does have Big Titty Committee on it, and I'm like, I kind of want that so bad, and 6 months later, I still have not bought it.
You should buy it, right? I'm just telling you should buy it.
I know.
Do it. Buy it before you regret it. Like you.
Good luck explaining to my mom what my Big Titty Committee pin means.
Yeah, or like I really want those shirts, but like it's gonna be so weird if people are gonna look at me with like, what the fuck is this big titty?
Yeah,
like
they're gonna see that and they're gonna have no context for what's going
true.
on. You ain't got no big tits. You ain't got no big tits. Like whatever.
Or in my case, they're gonna be like, okay.
In my case too, pretty much. That I can pull it off.
For me, I was talking about myself. It's like.
Oh no, I was talking about myself too. I'm like, yeah, no, if I wear that shirt, people will just look down and look up and go, yep, I can see it.
So proud of it.
Versus cheered, proud of fond of it. Yeah, that's the one of the best memes in K-pop, Big City Committee. So well, let's.
Wait, they did hang out with Wonho too. I think they hung out recently, or in the
I think they did.
Oh my God.
Of course they did.
I was not aware that they were having a big titty meeting. Did they not call Namjoon to this discussion? Like, they completely, like...
That's true.
They clearly did not call the whole meeting.
This is true. RM is one of the official, according to one of the official members of the...
Is he aware of it? Is he aware of it, though? No. Like, what?
I don't know. Question. I don't know if he is. I think he is. I don't know. I feel like he is.
Hey, Namjoon, you're invited to this annual meeting. Like, what? What meeting?
Oh, if they did have an official like annual meeting about that, I would laugh so hysterically.
I would too, actually. That'd be funny. So the big titty K-pop idol committee. Yeah, I'm
pretty sure I've seen a fan fiction with that prompt in mind. I'm like 104% sure I have seen that on AO3 somewhere.
That doesn't surprise me, actually. Honestly, that really does not. Quite honestly,
it doesn't surprise me either at all. It's Rule 34.
Yeah,
it exists somewhere on the internet.
It's AO3. So there's at least some class. It's AO3. There's some class to it. It's not Wattpad.
Yeah.
Some, not much, but some. Oh, let's move on before we devolve further. Let's get into our next album, and let's get it.
Oh, so you mean we're gonna go from one himbo straight to the next one? Is what you're telling me? We've gone from one to one, and now we're gonna go to the third one.
We're gonna take a break from the himbos. We're gonna get to the third himbo. Don't worry. He's on the docket. Don't worry. The third himbo's on the docket, but we gotta take a break and we gotta get into a bit of a break.
Climax. Oops. Did not say climax.
Oh, he's gonna be the climax one. Okay, I got you. I got
Lord.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Well, yeah, we're gonna get back to the himbo sad talk here in a little bit, but let's take a break with that and let's get into this solo debut this week from Nayeon of Twice with her debut solo album, I'm Nayeon, and the title
Nayeon.
Nayeon, and in the title track Pop, basically embracing her bubblegum pop sound at this point on this album.
I'm kind of sad because we should have had Chris on recording because this is his bias from Twice.
I know we should have had Chris on the episode too, but
I don't know how he's doing right now, but
I know
it would have been such a great opportunity, and my bias.
Yeah, we'll get him on an episode soon. So when Twice has a full comeback, we'll get him on the show again.
Maybe he'll talk about his biases, like a bit of a mini review.
Pretty much. We all have our biases. It's fine. But I want to know what you felt about Pop, Jenni, because this is again we're back to the summery jams here.
I have that song in my head. I'm kind of like doing my elbow dance, like pop pop pop. It's so catchy,
Mm-hmm.
It's really catchy because whenever we talk about Nayeon, and I think this type of music really fits her style and her persona. So this is a great way to introduce yourself as a solo artist, and she really does great with the vibrant upbeat type of bubblegum pop concept. Yeah, okay, this is a necessary beef that I saw on Twitter at one time when this came out because they were comparing her with Rihanna's Bubble Pop.
Okay.
And I think I can compare them as they have very similar vibes, but I think with Rihanna's is more of a bit of a tougher girl crush into it, while this one is more going on into the realm of a cute type of performance and type of look into it. Yeah, it does remind me of a bit of Bubble Pop, but this was more just fun and playful and all that.
Yeah, I can see the comparisons of it being kind of bubble pop-ish, but yeah, Hana has always been also kind of always had an edge to her, especially with her solo work.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I think Nayeon's going to always kind of have that cutesier image because that's kind of how Twice has always been marketed. JYP's always kind of thrived in that, minus Stray Kids. But, they've kind of always had this kind of girl next door vibe to it. And she's really embraced that. And yeah, this whole album really does kind of channel that energy. Yeah, she thrives in that sound and that style. So, no knock to her on that because, that's definitely where she thrives.
I'm not surprised. I would be totally surprised if she went for a very more mature type of concept. But with this, yeah, I can, I totally see that. There's nothing much new. I wouldn't say new, but this is something I would expect of Nayeon to do.
Yeah, because it very much reminds me a lot of a more brighter Twice song.
Yeah,
honestly, a Yes or What Is Love kind of brighter song.
Yeah, a lot of those songs I could feel Twice could have made a group effort, but it's really cool to see her do it herself.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Ray?
We know that I'm not the biggest Twice person, but I actually did like Pop. I was not expecting to at all.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. It is that bubbliness and it is that cutesy vibe, but it did kind of work for me. It was cute without being completely obnoxious about it. It feels very natural, and I don't know her as well, from a musician perspective. So I don't know what her particular vibe is, but I feel this feels very natural for her.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it doesn't feel forced or fake. It feels definitely something she's gonna thrive in. What do you guys think about the BSides and stuff? I know she actually had 2 features on this album.
Mm-hmm.
The first being No Problem, which is her lone solo English, all English track. I was surprised she had a full English track on this album, which is featuring Felix the Stray Kids.
Which I did not expect at all.
Which I was so curious because when they announced that Stray with Felix is gonna be a featured act in one of their songs, it was okay, I get that now it's going for a really cutesy vibe, and so I'm kind of curious to see how Felix is gonna fit into this type of like concept. But and
Right.
for this, it actually worked. It's like I don't know if you guys could like be turned off because of like Felix's like deep voice into the song, but I think with this, I think it's I think it made it elevated to where Felix's voice could be like be seen as like fun and like he's really enjoying himself and all that.
His very, very deep voice that we all know and love kind of got brought up to the range where it does fit in with the track pretty appropriately and it doesn't feel jarring.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, his voice is jarring in the best way.
Like people get
It's even
like
jarring.
people get like didn't
Because
see
you
it
don't
coming. It's
expect
like they
that
get
deep
like
of a voice.
they get like ambushed or like they
to
got
come
oh my
from him.
god, what the fuck is this voice? It's like every time they listen to Stray Kids for the first time.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like, you don't expect that deep of a voice to come from just that
From this
adorable and cute
twink.
of a little angel human being. You don't expect that
Yeah, not my roommate's.
person to walk in with a Barry White ass sounding voice.
Yeah, this is not my roommate's every reaction every time we see Felix on screen singing is just like, how, just how. So it's there every time. So
I will say I definitely loved No Problem as a track, and it's not just because of Felix being on
Yeah.
it, but it certainly was a perk. I will give it that.
Yeah, I mean,
But it worked. It worked really, really well, and it definitely flowed. At least for me, I felt like it flowed well from pop to No Problem.
mhm.
It definitely kind of continued that little vibe. I'm like, okay.
I'd say the same thing with that other track for Candy Floss because it has like that very spiritual successor from pop.
Mhm.
It feels like they're like connected with each other, which is a good thing because I really love consistency with an album that tells like kind of theme or story. So yeah, Candy Floss is my other favorite.
Yeah, there's a nice like consistently theme throughout this whole entire album that really kind of ties everything together. And like I appreciate that for at least her first solo because like sometimes like for like a solo album it can kind of be a mess with like how the arrangement is. And I feel like this was really arranged very well throughout. Like whoever did the arrangement on this did a really good job at like kind of laying it out and kind of picking out like the garbage or not the garbage, I should say. That's the wrong
Garbage.
word. I shouldn't say
Whoa.
garbage. That's the wrong word. Like unnecessary, songs and just kind of keeping it concise down to 7 tracks. Like I think that was just a perfect amount for a solo debut.
Yeah.
Yeah,
cut
it
the
cut the fluff down.
The extra floof on the outside, and it trimmed it down.
It trimmed it
really
down.
well.
It trimmed it down to make it.
It sheared it down to the appropriate size, and it
made it.
for
It still made it nice and fluffy to the best part.
The cotton candy flavored candy vibes.
Which,
or
I was gonna say, it ties in well to Candy Floss. So
see, this
it
metaphor.
Works
this metaphor
perfectly
works. What can I say? I will also say I do also like the other feature on this album, Love Countdown, which is featuring Wonstein. I really do like the combination of Wonstein's hip hop with Nayeon's vocals. I really think that was a fun kind of combination, to break it up a little bit. I really like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think his voice really connects well or fits better with Nayeon's voice and like vocals.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it's like a bad thing with Felix. It's it's like a good experimentation with with Felix. But I think with this, it's more I guess natural.
Yeah,
for me.
Yeah, because I know for Felix you'd have to get up into a higher range. I know he can, but it's for Felix it's like a little harder. So,
what do you mean hard?
Okay, that's not fair. Oh goodness. Also, I'm a little sad because I know Twice fans have been really trying to get Nayeon to get a win for pop, and unfortunately it's not quite getting there on the music show wins. I'm hoping it will kind of pull out a win here in the next couple of days, but as of recording right now, it hasn't received a win on music shows, sadly. Which kind of sad. I was hoping for her to pull off a win because I think it deserves a win. It's a good song.
Yeah.
Let's move on to I guess our whole full album of the week because this was a full album because apparently this man did not want to disappoint us. And I'm talking about Huta, which is this.
You mean his second coming?
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's be honest, it's the second album.
True, it is. To talk about Huta, which is the stage name of Minhyuk from BTOB. when he does his solo work. And this is Boom, which came out on the 27th of June with the title track Boom, which Boom, hi.
I'm just like rearranging some of like the slideshow pictures right now, and the thing that I went to is like his thumbnail on YouTube with the stains around him. So this is a perfect timing.
Of course you did.
Perfect timing, Jenni. Nice, very, very nice.
Oh,
just conveniently had that at the ready.
Yeah. Yeah, if you all watch the music video, you'll know exactly what we're talking about, because that thumbnail is dangerous. And also, yes, the third himbo of the week. Wow.
I'm just gonna consider him vice president.
Yeah, like, wasn't he part of the Big Titty committee as well? Like, didn't BM mention him?
I think so. I think he might be part of the Big Titty committee. BM might have mentioned him.
Yeah.
I mean,
if not,
I don't know if he's I don't know if he's vice president or secretary, but I think he's definitely in that top bracket.
I mean, if y'all don't go check out Minhyuk's Instagram, which
I
did not need to be disrespected with this music video. I did not need it. I did not ask for it. It was slapped in my face like one giant ab. It was just
was it the abs or was it other things?
Which I'm highly...
It was the abs, because it was literally flashed right in front of all of our eyes.
Which I'm highly disappointed that Raffi hasn't gotten into reacting to this yet.
The heck? Oh my god.
Oh, don't worry.
I'm
know he's been doing a lot I know he's been doing a lot personally with his life, so like kind of like backed off into that. But I just kind of wish he like reacted to this.
Oh no, I think he's still recovering from BM wearing a crop top during Ring the Alarm. I think he's still reacting, still recovering.
He's probably like he reacted to this like a couple of weeks ago, and he's still reacting to this day. He's like trying to see if he can edit or like still like maybe like have some new reactions. Like, no, this is too much. This is too much.
It's way too much. It's way too much. I mean, we saw the man did self-destruct between Chan's abs and stuff too from Stray Kids. So,
yeah.
Hi.
With
yeah,
red lights
his back. No, he was like all over his back. The back.
Yeah, the back.
Him in red lights. Yeah.
And then his abs in Maniac too. When the Maniac.
Oh yeah.
He was coming. It's like, just stop going to the gym.
Just stop.
Stop.
I don't like them.
But also, Chan, I love you. I will burn every single shirt in your wardrobe if I have to.
Yeah,
I will walk into that room with gasoline and a lighter and light that bitch on fire if I have to.
You're gonna be homeless because like JYP is gonna be burnt down to the ground.
But then none of them will have clothes, so then I just helped everybody.
Well, I mean, the show on Friday again. Like there's a yeah. Clothes coming out. Let's just say Han wanted to have people.
Please tell me you snapped a picture. That's all I ask. Please tell me you snapped a picture. And if you did, why have you not?
I didn't get a good picture. That's why. But Han was convinced of trying to get people's pants off. Let's put it that way. I'm not lying. He literally said that on stage.
I'm sorry, my headphones cut out. Can you say that one more time?
Han was trying to just like say people to take their pants off. Han was here to cause mischief. I'm not gonna lie. He was on a whole. He was calling everyone sexy. Like it was a whole thing. It was something on last Friday.
Okay. Anyways, Huta.
Anyway, back to Huta. Hi. Back to Boom. We're just on a tangent.
I was gonna say, speaking of Mayfly members,
yeah, thank you for that tangent. I appreciate that. I just need that tangent. Thank you. Yeah, it's back to Boom. Yeah, as for Boom itself, the song, I think this is like an amalgamation of like him. It's crazy to think because like obviously we know Minhyuk from stuff in BTOB and BTOB being a ballad group. And then you see stuff like this, like Boom, and it's just like impressive amalgamation of rap and just all the different like the prowess he has in rap. And it's just, you forget like how much knowledge he has in it and in songwriting and stuff too. And it's just like, whoa, wait, hold up. let me slow down, catch my breath, because this is just like everything at once that he can't do with BTOB.
It was the same thing like with the Mayfly performances, where it's like, oh, we were not expecting him to be in the rap group.
And
like, I did not see that.
Yeah,
coming.
and then coming in basically almost featuring in the Mayfly rap performance between 3 Racha and Hongjoong
as the boss fight.
Yeah, I think what I said about this album is just like this is a great way for him to showcase his hip hop, prowess, as well as his ballad side of him, because he does like a good range of rapping as well as like a really great vocal skills from him, because like every time he hits that I is like, oh, it's just like it's so heavenly and all that. It's just like, and even the rest of the songs too. It's like a great mix of ballad, ballad pop and like back to hip hop. I do wish, I think, on a technical aspect and how he could have organized this album, I could have wished that there's like a bit of a side, a bit of a split. So like side A could be as like his hip hop, hip hop half, and then the other half is more of like his ballad stuff. To me, I think that's how.
So you felt like the track listing was like more chaotic.
Yeah,
than
it's a bit disjointed because we go from hip hop, and then all of a sudden we go back into like a slower song, and then a couple of slow songs, and then all of a sudden back to hip hop. Is like, okay, I mean, jumping back and forth. So I kind of wish there's more of like a better flow to it. But other than that, I still do enjoy his other songs though.
I can understand the argument from that perspective. I can see that. I think it's more to like keep it from sounding like two-toned. Like if you did have that split between like the hip hop and the more, I'm just gonna say slow jams between the two, then it feels like high energy and then straight down to low energy for the rest of it. Whereas you kind of have to have like a good ebb and flow to kind of bounce back and forth. Like you do have high energy for a little bit, and then sometimes they do that in clubs too. Like they'll do like the high energy stuff, and then sometimes they'll break down for a couple songs and have some slow jam time, and then go back up to high energy.
Yeah,
it's just it's a rhythm kind of thing.
Oh yeah, it's a good point as well.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, right? Because I think if you did do like more A side, more hip hop, and B side, more ballad or slow jams as you call it. I mean, I guess Jenni kind of almost like trying to like do like what Chungha did with her album, where she had like the 4 different sides. It was the 4 different things. Like Consiera was.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I see the pros and cons to both of that. It's a little disjointed because sometimes I get whiplash from like going from like a ballad, like one of the like a couple of the songs sounding like something that could be from like BTOB, but then like Minhyuk just took them for himself, and then going into like the thing straight hip hop, like it is a little whiplashy at times.
Speaking of BTOB, I think like one of his tracks for Red Wine. This could have been like a group effort for BTOB, where like a lot of more of like a blind distributions from like each member doing the rapping or doing the singing. But I'm just really amazed that like Minhyuk or Huta could like do it all by himself. Like it's a one man band type of like a performance. So it's really impressive, like, because it really does like a great mix of like his rapping and then going into his vocal portions of it. So yeah, it's really impressive for him to do this.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also kind of looked at like Is It Love Too, which is the duet he does with Changsub, which is a member of his from BTOB. I also wonder is also was written for BTOB in a way. It's just the way that was performed, because it almost feels like it could be a BTOB song, but they guess they made it more I guess unit focused or I guess solo focused, because I mean it kind of has that BTOB vibe to it a little bit. I mean, not to say, because Minhyuk does a lot of the writing sharing with Hunchik in BTOB now. So obviously there is some like elements of BTOB in his songwriting, because obviously he does have a little bit of a say into that. So it's not the worst thing in the world.
I'd say the bleed over kind of works for it though, because you do get the goodness of BTOB that we all love, but little tiny twists to be able to make it his own. So there is still that bit of separation between the two of them, and I do like that.
I agree with that.
We still get our nostalgia kicks, but we also get our baby daddy just serenading us in our ear. That's just
yeah, that's very true. We do. I also a couple other tracks I want to shout out. I really like Shadow. Like I really like this. Like it's a very like new future view of yeah. Wow, I can talk all of a sudden. I'm all tongue tied now. Wonder why. It's very neo
Words
futuristic.
suck, don't they?
Certain man. It's very neo futuristic. Like I love the electronic backbeat to it. It just is really kind of just the way he played with that is just really fun, and it like is this kind of continuation into this hip hop and stuff. And I really dug that. And then I like Firework, which I think was like the best combination of both. Like this combination of both his hip hop side and his ballad side, I think blended really nicely. I think worked super well.
Yeah, for me, I would like to add his opening track, which is "I'm Rare." It really gives a great expectations of like what you'd expect from like Huta, and it's such a like a badass introduction to his album. It's like because it's like the sound of it, like you can pull like a Fast and Furious in the highway with that music.
I don't know why that image is just so funny to me, but it is.
Give me an idea for like the next Fast and Furious movie.
Oh God.
Is it taking place in Korea at this point?
Oh man, we're gonna do like Korea Drift or some shit like.
Oh my God!
Oh no, we don't need a Tokyo Drift like part 2, but it's in Korea. We don't need
no.
No.
I think I just broke.
Tokyo Drift was already bad enough.
I just broke Ray even more.
No, it's more. Oh God, that's gonna be a whole tangent. On its own.
We don't have to get on that tangent.
No, it's more just like I can't bring myself to see the rest of the series. More just, and I don't care how good it is or how bad it is. Like
it's okay. I'm the same way, honestly.
Same here. I really
it's
don't
card
get
porn, basically. Like, let's be real here.
Yeah, same here. I really don't get like like the hype with Fast and Furious.
Yeah, it's car porn. I guess at this rate, I don't know. Car porn and dumb action stunts that defy physics, all physics. So
yeah, it's like superhero. It's almost like bordering on.
But they don't care. It's about the car.
Yeah, exactly. So.
And the fact that they can get it to jump off of mountains because
swinging on vines.
Sure.
The car pulling
onto a plane.
Okay, I don't know how we got to this tangent.
Physics.
I don't know how we got to this tangent, but we did. We've been on a lot of tangents today. I'm okay with this, but yeah, this is normal with us anyway. Let's move on. We have 2 more albums to go. We're almost done. We're almost through the Scotland, guys. We have 2 more to go. And we're actually to the albums that came out this week. So, hey, we're there. Let's get to Enhypen, which is our next album, which came out back on the 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. Woo. Yeah, they're back with their newest EP, Manifesto Day 1. And the title track, Future Perfect, parenthetical, Pass the Mic. I will note, this is the first time there's actually no hyphen mark in the title track. Like, all the other ones had it.
Having like this concern is like, okay, not like there's a sudden shift into like a hip hop era, hip hop and hyphen, but like the title track is like, where's the hyphen? Where's the dash? The dash sign. Like, this could have been like a good like a futures and then dash perfect. So I'm curious to see why they didn't include it.
Unless it's like I'm wondering something to do with the narrative of their story or something right now. I have no idea.
Yeah, which they did. Yeah, I feel like notice like how it was like the opening track or the introduction of this album. Mm-hmm. It's not just Jake doing the narrations. We have like more members like from the Korean and then like translation into the Japanese, which is obviously Nikki doing like the narrations too. So a very cool, like progression of the story of what they're trying to tell here.
Yeah, so it is growing out. The Walk the Line, which is the intro track on this one, is now trilingual instead of just being in straight English. We're in a new, truly in a new era for Enhypen. Future Perfect, Pass the Mic. I was not expecting like as hip hop as it was. Like, I feel like it is a progression of what we got from Blessed Cursed from the last track when it was more 90s, and it was kind of getting this kind of hip hop vibes a little bit because it was feeling very 90s boy band. And so I guess it feels like a progression from that a little bit, but I wasn't expecting to go this hardcore hip hop on it.
Yeah.
I personally love that the amount of hip hop that was on it. I'm glad that it went as hard as it did, even not knowing Enhypen as well as others probably do. I definitely enjoyed this title track a lot.
Yeah, it's just it caught me off guard a little bit ever as an engine. So it's like, oh, okay, we're now on a true hip hop stage here. Okay,
Yeah,
I see it.
I feel like oh, sorry, go on, Jenny.
No,
I think you
go ahead, Jenny.
Oh, okay, because I was about to say like another. I think my opinion for it is like, okay, I enjoy it as like a song itself, but how it defines Enhypen, like I like they can do like I'm really open for them to do like a lot of genres. So hip hop, they could like do hip hop, but I just don't feel like it's like capturing like the lore that they're trying to do. Because like when I was watching the video, I just don't see any connection of like how their stories is taking place and all that, and as well as like the production in this music, because I think what makes Enhypen is like the music that they have. It's like a bit of a has like a very horror gothic element into it. Like you can hear from Give and Taken or Drunk Dazed or even Blessed Cursed. Could have had like some kind of like the foreboding tone with their hip hop, and I don't think I kind of like caught that in there. I think it's kind of like missing to me.
No, I can kind of see that, yeah, because like I don't think it's as foreboding as we've seen other title tracks from Enhypen in the past. And yeah, the music video, I'm also trying to remember, like, as I'm trying to like keep up with all my different AUs of K-pop groups at the moment, because I have a lot of conspiracy.
It's hard, isn't it?
It is. I have a lot of conspiracy theory boards going at the moment. Mostly currently plagued by ATs because of their comeback season. TBD on that, y'all.
Looking like Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, just with like all the newspapers and like all the papers on the background with like all of the little pins, the string attached to them, and then Pepe Sylvia's written on the side for some reason. We don't know why.
Pretty much. But yeah, with Enhypen, like, I mean, because there's just some things introduced in the music video, and I'm like, okay, do I have to go read the webcomic? Because there's a webcomic tied into the AU now. And that's on Webtoon, and I'm like, do I have to go read the webcomic too? Because I'm like, all of a sudden they introduce like people having powers. Like, I know one of them's a pyrokinetic. Apparently, Jungwon can turn back time or something. I'm like, when did that happen? I'm just like, wait, when did this all get included into the universe?
This is bringing me back with Twilight Breaking Dawn, where they introduced like vampires with some X-Men superpowers. It's like, really, do we have to add more powers to vampires now? Like, one have like super strength, one of them can waterbend.
Ang with like being able to bend all the elements.
Oh my god, like it's like we're like diverging away from like what it means to be a vampire.
I don't. Well, how they can walk in the sun, that was kind of explained in the universe. I think that was actually, I think, kind of explained. Kind of.
They're the blade of the K-pop universe.
I think that was explained in Tane Dash. I think. I'm not 100% sure. I think it was kind of explained. Like all of a sudden they could walk in the sun, so that's why they could walk in the sun and not burn.
I'm just gonna keep myself naive to the lore, because if I shove any more lore into my head, it's just gonna start oozing out of my ears. And I'm good. There's enough crap in my head right now. I don't need more.
Because like I said, not me currently in the middle of this 80s comeback that's like a huge lore dump. Like, I swear to God, this 80s comeback has just been a major lore dump at this rate. And I'm here for it, but I'm just like...
An interesting case, because I think that's what I'm about to like, I could like say with aespa, with like their new music video as well. It's like it's so hard to like make a good balance of telling a story, like having like this continuing narrative with with your K-pop projects, but still try to make it like really like make sense for people who don't get into like the story of like each group.
Mm-hmm.
So I think with ATs, I think they really do a good well of making it subtle for the people who are new to ATs and to not understand it. Like, okay, why are they showing this? This is some kind of symbolism or something. Or it's like they make it subtle and all that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Although this one has been very interesting, since it's been very holla tied into, and well, tying into their Kingdom performance from over a year ago now. Yeah, Rhythm Time was over a year ago.
Just shy of a year ago.
So it's been a very interesting comeback. And like I said, we're going to get to ATEEZ reviewing their new album coming at the end of July. So stay tuned, you guys. But so yeah, I mean, when it gets to like lore and stuff, it can be really confusing. Like this is kind of getting to be, or it depends on what groups want to go with it, and I guess it depends on how far they want to go with the media on it. Because like I said, with Enhypen, like they have the web comic and stuff too, and it's like, do I have to go into that to like understand more of it? Because I'm like, I feel like I do now. Although I've tried to read some of the web comic, and it's confusing because the characters are named different than the actual idol. So I'm like, wait, who's who? And it gets a little confusing to figure out like who's matching up with who. So that's just my critique, at least on the webcomic, at least what I've read on the webcomic right now. Also, because it's like a self-insert a little bit on their side of things. Like it's a very YNS kind of comic. But as for the other tracks, like what did you feel about the other tracks, Jenny?
Since it was kind of like really weird that we're going the hip hop, hip hop side. But I think I like how they still retain some of like their past choice of sounds. So I think it's with tracks like TFW and Shout Out, it goes back with like like the rock genre where I feel like this is more of like their style as of now. And then this is where they have their like they still have their like Enhypen touch into it.
Yeah. What about you, Ray? Did you get a chance to listen to this?
My brain just took a giant like fart for a moment. I'm
you're
so
good.
No
sorry.
worries, man. This is pretty much us. Like if we like have like a long recording or just like you have a lot of shit to like talk about.
Yeah. It gets tiring after a while.
We're on Enhypen. Yes, I did listen to them. It took a second to come back to. Yes, I did get the chance to listen to the album as a whole. I actually really did like the sound from this album overall, even though it is a group that I haven't gotten to experience a whole lot of. I definitely like it. It made me kind of curious to want to go check everything else out in my off time when I'm not under pressure to perform.
When I'm not forcing her to listen to 11 albums before recording. But no, right, I'll definitely pass you along some Enhypen stuff because I think they definitely warrant to listen. I really do like them because I think what Him and Bang's been doing with them has been really, really good because obviously they're like kind of like a sub little group, little brother group to BTS and Tomorrow by Together. They're not quite under Big Hit, but they're kind of under Big Hit. So
You can have like so you can hear like some of the sounds that would have belonged to Big Hit.
yeah, like Paradox Invasion, I'm not gonna lie, it felt like they kind of rated BTS's old hip hop style a little bit.
Hell, the Past the Mic or like the Future Perfect feels so much in spirit of BTS's Mic Drop.
I can definitely see that. Having known that now, I can go back and listen to Pass the Mic in my head and go, oh, now I know. I got it. I got it. That's why it sounded aesthetically familiar to me.
Very much so.
This is probably why I grooved with it so hard. 'Cause it's like, oh, that explains a lot. A spiritual, not necessarily a spiritual successor, but
Like a related like type of like a distant relative of the song.
like a half sibling kind of
Yeah,
thing.
or like a cousin or so.
Half siblings probably good.
That would explain it. Okay, no, that I get it now. Okay. Yeah, now I know where most of the sound came from. But no, overall I did enjoy this album a lot. I'm trying to remember if Shout Out was the one that I had really liked a lot. I really did love Pass the Mic a lot.
Yeah, I think Shadow has like more of like a heavy rock sound. So I don't know if that's really into that.
Yeah, it felt very like early aught pop punk to me, which I'm like, yep, this is me. Hi, y'all know me.
Given the slapping that Hobie just gave us a couple last week,
more.
I think, with his early 2000s sound and self. Yeah, that explains why this sound is resonating with me a little harder this week.
Yeah, which Hive is just like on a rock phase lately, especially with Hobie's debut single.
And I'm okay with that. I'm glad that people are delving more into the rock sound because I feel like it doesn't get explored as much in K-pop. I know we go for more rap, we go for hip hop, we go R&B and traditional pop, but it's nice to see them mix it up and throw some rock, even aesthetically.
More alt rock.
Yeah, coming from me, who was so big into classic rock back in high school, like I was such a purist, like with old music.
Mhm.
I really I
Mhm.
think it's my old self coming back into this, but yeah, I really encourage K-pop producers to do a lot more rock into it.
Because it's definitely, whether you go pre-90s, like classics, you go grunge inspiration, or even like early 2000s or emo fest, like there's so much you could pull from there for interesting sounds. And I do commend Enhypen for bringing in a little bit of rock on this one.
Yeah, I am too. Like, it kind of feels like what Tomorrow by Together's been doing with a lot of like rock inspiration as of late. Even 17's had a little bit of that too.
Even if it brings me back to Warped Tour era, like brings me back to those memories of being there,
Mm-hmm.
I still like it.
I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. It brings you back to the good old days. So, and I'm okay with that.
I definitely feel like I would have heard Shout Out. I was at the last Warped Tour I went to. I feel like I definitely would have heard that there.
Yeah, no, I feel
And that's not a bad thing either.
No. It's definitely it's a positive critique on that. So no, I appreciate that. I think Enhypen really did good. I really do enjoy their sound. So, and I like seeing kind of where they progress on their sound and stuff. So they're fun. They're a lot of fun. So I'll give you some recommendations, Ray, off mic for to explore for Enhypen. So, but let's get to our last album to review for the episode. We are almost done, guys. And that is from Winner with their album Holiday, which came out on the 5th of July with the title track I Love You, which is Winner's first album, I think, in about 2 years, at least over about 2 years, because they kind of had two of the members go into the military. So this is kind of like an interesting break for them, because they've had two of the members go in the military. Two of them haven't gone into the military yet. So they're kind of in this like in between limbo of their members.
Yes. Yeah, I think the only like single that I really got from was like their last one was Hold, but I know like they have a couple of more songs that after that, but I just couldn't remember because I think like the ones afterwards were just like kind of like goodbye like songs for like some of the members who are going up to the military.
Yeah, it's been crazy because like I know they've like had like because they went to the military, because I'm trying to remember who all went to the military. I think it was Jinwoo went to the military early COVID times, like April 2nd of 2020, and then I think just Jinwoo went to the military. Oh no, Sung Hoon went into the military too on April 16th. So like I said, two of them went into the military. The other two have to go into the military yet. I think Sung Yoon has to go into the military, and so does Minho has to go into the military to complete their service to the country. So, but right now, at least they're kind of get to promote as a group of four, and they have their album right now, which is kind of fun. I mean, I really liked I Love You because it kind of continued on what they did with Hold.
Yeah, like with like really comedic, whimsical type of like music video. I really like that. I think that should be like the what Wither should be doing that. I don't think it's a gimmick, but like they're like consistent concept. Because I really enjoy those kinds of videos. Like they really make me laugh.
Yeah, they have this like weird kind of like charm to it. It's just like they don't take themselves seriously.
No.
It's just this kind of endearing charm with their music video, because like especially in this one, because I mean it's a song called I Love You, for crying out loud. And like they're running with the tropes of like the knights in shining armor and stuff, but it's in a very comedic tone and stuff.
Then like their stupid costumes and all that, like they have like this big muscle suit.
The big muscle suits and stuff, and like just them like acting like dorks and stuff. It's really endearing and charming. It really is.
They're like your big brothers. It's like the big brothers you wish you have.
Yeah, like you could tell where Icon kind of gets like a little bit of their wit and stuff and their humor from. Like you can get how it's like you can tell they get it from Winner a little bit, being their older brothers, and not that much older too, because like Winner and Icon are pretty close in age, I think. So
yeah,
it's kind of funny just to see it. As I called it, I think it's pure fluff on a YG level.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't know if they're doing that to like their boy groups these days. Because it was one with Icon where they really went all soft and away from their hip hop
Mhm.
edge into them, and now they're kind of doing it with Winner now.
It felt very fluffy. It was very fluffy, but it like still had that YG like as arrangement to it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Where it has like that party chorus at the end, and then it's just the arrangement and stuff. So it still felt very, very YG, but just very, very fluffy.
Hmm.
So my one critique was like it just ended abruptly. Like all of a sudden, just ended. I was like, wait, it's over? Like that's okay. I'm like
Really, well, that's all, folks.
basically, it's like yeah, like the Looney Tunes ending to it. It's
Oh,
very much
this
like
should be
that.
like their next visual, like their end visuals. It's just like them and like the rings, and then they like do like ta-da.
That's all, folks. Yeah, it was kind of like it caught me off guard how like much it just ended right away. I was just like, it felt like they kind of just like forgot, didn't know how to end it, and they just like ended it right after the YG party chorus, and that was it. It was like, okay, you guys didn't do like an outro or anything. Okay, cool. All right, but I mean, what do you think about the other tracks on this album, Jenny?
I think my favorite one would be the 10 minutes because I think this feels more of a return with like the YG type of sound, but also it
Hmm.
has like the dance theme and like having like a like, similar music with Icon. Yeah, that's pretty much how I felt, and as well as like I think with their other track Family, it's like a great mix up between like the rap and vocal lines, so it's a great blend to each other. I like how overall like the album like has like a consistent feel of like having like this carefree type of energy, and like it's like super warm hearted. Like as you said, like it's really fluffy. It's just a feel good album to listen to.
Yeah, I agree. It's a super feel good album. It just puts you in a very nice, light, fluffy mood. I liked Holiday. It has this kind of like Latiny flair to
Mm.
it that I really, really dug. And then I liked Sweet Home, which kind of surprised me because it started off like kind of on this ballady, like I thought it was gonna go this ballady vein. And then it turned into this like the throwback hip hop backed rock track that I was like, oh, I'm okay. I like this. And then the lyrics are very sentimental and honest. Like again, it's like really fluffy, good feeling kind of song. So I was like, oh, I'm like I feel nice and warm, and I'm like I'm digging the music, and I'm like all the good stuff in the world. So like I was really surprised with Winner. Like it was a really fun album just kind of wrap up everything with we had to listen to this week because we had, had to listen to a lot because we had almost a month of music to listen to, and we even like did not listen to like we had even cut off some of the stuff we had prepared for the show because there was a lot, you guys. So
And even stuff I had to remind you about.
yeah, Ray even had to remind me of some things out there. So it's been a huge month of music, and like I said, I couldn't even get to everything this month. So, but yeah, it's been a good month of music. I think honestly with the K-pop, and I mean, there's more coming, obviously.
Mhm.
So
Wait, there's more.
I mean, I know we didn't talk about some of the singles that we were going to, but hear me
go
out.
ahead.
Next episode, all the singles into one episode and just call it Singles Night. Like a play on Ladies Night.
I like that.
Nice.
I like that. Maybe we should do that. Maybe to catch up all the singles and stuff because I know we had Sunmi's. We had the debut from Lapis, obviously. To we
We
Yeah,
had
Dawn.
Dawn's single as well. Yeah, and then obviously we had Hobie's
Hobie.
pre-release single. Although his mixtape does, are we calling it a mixtape or calling it an album
I think
now? Like
album
I'm,
because I think because Hype is like is promoting it because like his other mixtapes is like Big Hit never like put it up front.
yeah,
Yeah, the other stuff just dropped.
yeah, that's true. It was just like, boom, here's a mixtape. We're actually getting promotion.
The fact that this is actually getting merch with it, I'm counting that as an album.
True, we're getting merch, although we're not getting a CD, which I'm kind of disappointed in Hype. No lie.
But it's pushing out a photo card. Like, it's an album at this point.
Good point. Because again, not me trying to collect my main bias in BTS's merch because it's me. Hi. So
Hey, every time I find something and it pulls a Hobie card,
know.
I offer to trade with
I
you.
know, and actually, I'm quite surprised I pulled a lot of Sugas on my last pulls for proof because I finally got my proof albums.
That's why, when I was doing the Scott Pilgrim poster for your birthday gift, the Jenni, I was trying my best to make Hobie more appealing because I know he's like the class clown of BTS, but I'm trying to make him like not stupid looking. It's like my original drawing. Like
you made him look great. You made him look great on my phone.
He's just like really just grinning and like.
I love that. If y'all want to know what she's talking about, for my birthday, it was actually commissioned from my boyfriend of all people. It was a parody of Scott Pilgrim versus the World. It was my boyfriend versus BTS in the style of Scott Pilgrim. Because my boyfriend's probably going to fight off BTS for me. So yeah.
Good luck.
It's on Twitter. It's on Facebook. I think I posted on Facebook.
And you can find that. No,
yeah.
I was trying to fucking connect.
Okay. I'm not getting to plugs quite yet, but we get to plugs. Find it all on our social medias, guys.
That was a 10 out of 10, though, on the transition to plugs.
I know. I did not plan that. Wow.
A+.
I did not plan that. But, I mean, yeah, we have stuff coming. I know next episode. I think next episode, is obviously we are to talk about J-Hope's album, because that's coming. That is coming. We are going to talk about aespas. We're talking about aespa. Next episode. I think Chungha's got an album coming out finally.
Queendom.
In the next couple weeks. In the next couple weeks, it's like I think it's called like Bare and Rare.
Yes.
I think.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I know Super Junior's got a full album coming out because I know they've been promoting that too. I know they've been talking about that as well as
some of the Queendom artists too, like Hyolyn and apparently Grape.
Hyolyn's got one. Yeah, Hyolyn's got it coming out the same day as 17's repackage. So I know that's coming. I know Itzy's comeback's coming. I think the same day as J-Hope's album as well. So.
Oh, that's going to be stiff competition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I know SF9's got to come back too. Like, there's a lot coming, you guys, for the end of the month. Like I said, 17's got a repackage coming. I know P1 Harmony's got a comeback happening. So does Extraordinary Heroes is finally coming with their first mini. Finally. Purple Kiss has got a comeback coming. Zico just announced a comeback, his first comeback since coming back from the military as well. So, like, there's a lot of music coming down the pipeline just in July alone. So... But yeah, we don't have to do either a drunk episode, Ray, or two, we have to do maybe that singles night and catch up on these singles. Special episode.
I'm down for
might have to do that. But Ray, you are our guest today, so I'm gonna let you go ahead and plug. If you want to go ahead and plug anything, you are more than welcome to. The floor is yours.
The only thing I have to Felix, get the hell out of the
bed. Felix, you mean her cat. Felix.
Yeah,
not Felix, Felix, her cat.
Who is now showing his butt off on camera.
We need to have that, though. We need to have that. The thing with Felix, he always does, because I think he did that in our last show, too, with you, Ray.
I think so.
Yeah, he definitely came by and showed his butthole off on camera, so, you know, we're keeping with the theme here.
Running theme.
Yeah, and now he's desperately begging for food that he doesn't need. But in any case, I can promote my non-existent or my very dead Twitter that I never use. At Ray RAEO Pitch Black. That's bad when I don't even remember the name.
I'm trying to look for you too on Twitter, like RAE Pitch Black.
It's like Ray O Pitch. I know there's a few letters missing because Twitter would not let me put in all the letters that I wanted to.
Pitch.
Why? Because Twitter is evil.
Okay, so I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it. Sorry, Ray.
Give me 2 seconds. I'll find it.
We'll find that.
It's bad when I have to go on my phone. There it is. Ray _ Pitch Black without the A.
Okay. Ray _ Pitch.
Because Jenny's gonna start taking you and shit on Twitter, FYI.
I do. Now I must follow you. There it is.
Also, did I not follow you, Ray? I probably follow you. I do.
I think you do. Yeah, that lets you know how often I use my Twitter for stuff when I can't even remember my specific name. Again, though, it's because Twitter would not let me put in all the letters I wanted to, so it's fine. I'd be mad at Elon Musk, but apparently that deal terminated. But that's a whole other
I hope it's
discussion.
terminated because I thought it was like kind of like in the air right now, but
No, I think it's dead in the water.
I think word came down today that
Yay.
it terminated.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, so I can't be mad at him anymore. So
All's
now
forgiven.
somebody else must have my ire and rage.
Go ahead, Jenny, if you want to go ahead and plug your stuff.
As I was saying, no, no, I'm kidding. But you can find me on Facebook at Jenny Liano. So that's GINNYLEANO. Check out my design pages at Jenny Liano Designs, Instagram at Jenny Designs, and then my other personal pages. You can find them at the links below. And back to you, Jenny.
And you can find me, Jenny. You can find me over on Facebook, facebook.com/Jenny Matasek. That's Jenny with an I, Matasek. You can find me over on Instagram and on Twitter at Chaos Bulldog. You can find the show pages for the Noonas podcast over on Instagram and on Twitter at Noonas_podcast. Don't forget that underscore. You can check out the Spotify.
Nice, Spotify.
Yeah,
I am so tired. You can check.
Is that gonna be like the Mayfly sequel?
Spotify?
Is that what that
Probably.
is? Like
I was
Spotify?
gonna say, I'm mad because I'm only 2 out of 3 for Mayfly artists because I've missed BTOB. I'm 2 out of 3 guys. But you can check out Spotify playlists of our past episodes over on our Spotify page. Just click on the bios on our Twitter and Instagram to take you there. You can check out the SoundCloud links to our show under those handles as well, or click soundcloud.com/Noonas podcast, all one word. Or you can check out the video form of our show over on Facebook and on YouTube. Make sure to like, click, and subscribe to the Noonas podcast over on those platforms. And make sure to comment too. We love to have interaction with you guys as well. Also, shout out to our video editor, Alan, who helps me edit these shows each and every episode. Go check out his Twitch, twitch.tv/BirdmanAli. Great guy, does video game playthroughs, and is just an awesome guy overall. So thank you, Alan. And also thank you, Ray, for stopping by on the forcing yourself to listen to all these K-pop albums for the show, because I know you just want to talk about Card. But
We appreciate your effort, Ray.
I sacrificed an evening of Sims.
I'm
4
sorry.
to listen. No. It's okay. There's definitely some of these I liked, some of these I loved, some of these I wish I did not hear and would never have to hear again. But yeah, I definitely had a lot of fun, and I definitely can't wait to come back because something tells me I'm going to be manhandled back on here.
Yeah,
to
I may
talk
need
about
you on here
ATs.
for ATs, especially with, like I said, all this whole conspiracy, guerrilla warfare propaganda, fighting the government. Talk about Hot Girl Summer. Like, everyone's like, oh, it's summertime, like, fun and free. Meanwhile, ATs is like, let's take over the government. That's their whole comeback.
I mean, given the current political climate, I'm okay with this idea of overthrowing stuff. Like, yeah, where do I sign up? Give me one of those freaking masks. I'll
80s, give
join
us
in.
hope. 80s.
Yeah, I know. It's like, here, I'm here for Anarchy tees. Yes. Where's my Rhythm Top mask from that performance? I need one of those. Just go money heist on people.
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly what we're here for. But yeah, no, we'll definitely have you back on the show soon, Ray. If not even sooner. So, but
and then we still have to do our drunk episode.
We had to get some other people on this show here for a drunk episode, I think, to have just fun drunk conversation about K-pop and stuff.
Oh God, who are we gonna pull?
That's a good question. We should bring it up on.
And how crazy do you want it to get? Because that's gonna determine who comes on.
Good point. Because also, I don't want to have to sit through and edit all that either. So, I just thought about that too. Oh God, editing. Oh, TBD, you guys. But with that, I guess let's just sign off with a resounding fighting.
Fighting.